I think it relates, and everything relates to like the topic that we're going to be transitioning to, which is essentially how to think. You know, which, I mean, seems like there's so much going on in the world now that are different ways to show you how to think or train your brain or get you.
Oh, yes. You mean like a lot of like suggestive, like, hey, this is. So that's something I said in another part of ours too. Like, I do not like to watch something where I'm trying to get information and the person that is giving the information is expressing their opinion about it while they're giving the information. That indicates to me that they want me
That
to
it's
think like that
biased.
too, right?
Of course.
And it's like,
Instead of trying to give the information in a way that's just trying to educate or allow you to take it and
yeah,
think
allow
for
me
yourself.
allow me to disseminate the information on my own, and allow me to go through my own process to jump to my own conclusions. And when that's not done, I feel like insulted. Like Rachel Maddow, like that lady Rachel Maddow, like that's why I would never watch her. I watched her a couple times, and it's like, even if what you were saying was right, or whatever the information is, like just being so snarky and just so like nasty about what you're talking about. Like, can I make up my mind for myself here? Like, why do I feel like I got like somebody that's just nasty telling me about something, like they want me to hate somebody else too because they hate them? Like, yo, bro, like, no.
Yeah. That happens all the time, and it's happened in life forever, even as a child. You go through it and you have gossip and all the stuff, and it definitely, everything has a piece of it. What you see on TV, when you scroll your phone, the different pictures that you see, memes, it all comes in and affects you in some way. And thinking critically is the ability to analyze the facts to form a judgment. It's not just about what you think, it's about how you think. How does that hit when you hear that?
Well, for me, I wonder, like, that's a good question. Like, the way I think is like, I try to like keep my conscience involved all the time and try to be mindful all the time. So it's like I'm entering stuff thinking how I should think, right?
So you've kind of trained yourself in a way, put like little boxes around to allow yourself to think properly. And that's really interesting, because why critical thinking matters is, in a noisy, fast-moving world, critically thinking acts as your mental filter. And that's what you're saying. You put a little box, a little filter around.
Yeah. And
what you let get
the
through.
only time it fails is when, like, I might be in a conversation with my lady that turns into something else,
where you get emotional.
and emotions get involved, and I'm outside of my discipline.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It makes it more difficult to keep your discipline when you're dealing with a significant other.
Yeah, so critical thinking acts as your mental filter. It keeps you from blindly following trends, falling for propaganda, or being emotionally hijacked.
Can you read that one more time? That's a crazy one that you just said right there. That's a big can of worms you're opening.
Yeah, so critical thinking keeps you from blindly following trends, falling for propaganda, or being emotionally hijacked.
All right. Now we know this. Critical thinking is not for everybody.
Well, I think it could be.
Nope.
You're all happy because
Nope.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Because not everyone has the ability to do it.
Why not?
Well, I'm probably going to sound crazy to a lot of people right now, but I've done some research on this because this is just a subject that's been bothering me my whole life. It is said that 40 to 50% of human beings do not have what is called an internal voice, meaning they cannot hear their own thoughts in their head. They cannot have what is called an internal dialogue, right, which gives you the ability to make good decisions or not, right, which is the reason why many people are constantly being taken advantage of. These are also these people that are more apt to be naturally selected. That's why in that, I believe in God, I believe God makes no mistakes. Not all men are created equal, but different people have different gifts and different things like that.
Yeah.
And the internal voice is something that people who have it should realize that it is a gift. It's not for everybody. Not all men are meant to be kings.
Yeah.
If everyone
I
had
believe
this
that.
ability to have this internal voice and to be a sharp thinker, I think a lot more people would be trying to get over on each other even more than they are now. And we'd be fighting. That's just my opinion. But so it's hard. It's hard to say that. That's a
Yeah.
big one, without taking that into consideration.
Yeah. So what's happening today? The rise of clickbait headlines that appeal to emotion instead of logic, right? So an example is, you won't believe what this politician just said. Uses emotional charge and exaggeration to lure views. And, we have to do it. When we make our titles for the show, we got to make it in a way that attracts people to want to click it. It's the same kind of thing. So this happens even if your intent is to be a good person, all the things that you're trying to do, you still need to, you're a part of the world. Like, our marketing has to use some of these things.
Yeah, so there's the aspect of attraction, and then there's the
There you go.
the aspect of capturing, and then there's the aspect of keeping.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So AI generated content blurs the line between authentic and artificial. This is all brand new,
man.
right?
Yeah, that stuff is crazy, bro.
I mean, we
There's
use
so
AI.
much of it. Yeah, but we don't use it like that.
Yeah, for sure. But if you're not using it, like, how are you going to keep up in today's world where it helps you push more stuff out, generate more content?
those people that have the ability to do it, though, I think they're going to shine through because of their level of authenticity.
Yeah, I think that's important.
And they're more intricate. More of their stuff comes from here.
Yeah.
So I believe those people are going to be the winners. When I say the winners, meaning AI is going to win, but they're going to be the boutiques that still exist.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You still got to put your heart and soul into it. But, if, when they just came out with the 8-cylinder engine for the first time, or, whatever next level in any tech space, you got to move with it or else you get left behind. This talks about the next thing is media bias and hyper-partisanship fuel echo chambers. So that's what you were talking about the lady, and I forget the name, but
Rachel Maddow.
yeah, that she goes on there and rants and puts her stuff out there, and then whoever receives that literally becomes the same thing to the next person, ranting to them. And it creates this echo chamber where they all go around, and this is,
So as it's presented to you, this type of information in that manner, it does not leave much open for interpretation for you. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, it's going to leave you in that place. That's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Something that I got to say here too, we're going through this, episode on critical thinking, and we're going to talk about, different types of education to learn more about it. And then, different logical fallacies, as well as, search for truth in like a world where it's like post-truth. And a lot of this stuff, like Nathan and I are not the experts. We're doing this because we believe it's important. And we believe it's a foundation of how we should be as fathers and as humans, and to do our best and be a contribution in society. And we believe that this information and going through and learning about this ourselves, we're students here. And as we learn, it's part of the thing that we want to put out there to you.
Yeah, the objective of, while you're being a parent is to do a better job, than the generation before.
That's it.
And, we always want to do that. That's always the sentiment that we share. But we do not always have the tools to be able to do that, So we need the tools to be able to have the ability to want to do something like this. And that's basically one of the things that Anthony's saying there. That's, we're trying to, again, provoke thought, give you guys some things to think about, converse about, that'll hopefully make you better human beings like it's making us better human beings.
Yeah, and more aware of what's going on.
Yes, more conscious. Absolutely.
Yeah. So there is in our research, we saw there is a critical thinking framework. And the source is Paul and Elder in 2002. And it has elements of thought, right? And it says that you have a purpose, you have a question, you have information, then you have an interpretation of concepts, and then you create assumptions which have implications based on a certain point of view.
That's crazy that you're saying this right now. When I hear all this, you know what I think of? What word comes to my mind? Woke.
Why? Why does that come to your mind?
Because woke is the most mischaracterized word right now that's being used in the United States of America.
Really?
In my opinion, yes, because woke didn't come from what they're using it as. Woke was a term that was used in the black community for enlightened.
Yeah. It's like you see what isn't normally seen.
Yeah. Or used like, remember how I was telling you about sleep? Like you sleep, like meaning you don't want to take that opportunity. Oh, you sleep, I'm on that.
Yeah.
That type of a thing, right?
Yeah.
And
they took it and they flipped it and made it into something else.
There's people who are in the media that chose this word because of who it was tied to at that point in time and turned it into something else. They basically strawmanned the word.
So you're talking about
they built a caricature out of what they wanted it to be and made it apply to the word woke. And now woke is something that's a negative. There's a negative connotation behind the word woke without many people even knowing its origin.
Yeah, so what Nathan said about a straw man is essentially a logical fallacy, okay? And the straw man misrepresenting someone's argument to make it easier to attack.
And that's with that form of it, that's with bad intention, but you can also do it unintentionally.
Oh yeah, of course.
By like if somebody says something to you and you react to it without fully understanding it. So you're building a caricature out of what they're saying based on what you think it is that they're saying, and then you react to it. That's straw manning as well.